After all the previous videos where I've opened the core game box and the previous expansions, it's now time to bring the last one that I own, which is the Battlefield expansion. There are more content for Heroes Might and Magic 3, namely the one that I already know, which is the Inferno expansion, which I don't own. So this will be the last one that I was able to get from the Grail pledge. Okay. So while I open, just a reminder that all the other videos are already in the channel if you are interested to see the content. And if you're a fan of this kind of content, then this channel is almost at the 3,000 subscribers, so don't forget to leave your like, consider the subscription, and help me to maintain it and bring more content. So what can we find here? First of all, that's an interesting logo there from Ubisoft that I did not notice in previous videos. Probably it was there, but maybe on another place around here. That looks very strange there on the corner, so that's why I noticed from the corner of my eye. Tactical Warfare Unleashed, the mighty Battlefield expansion, is now in your hands. Take your battles to another level, give them on Hex combat board, and elevate your experience by commanding your armies of miniatures from the battlefield. So I won't read more, but so what's happening here? So this is probably the most confusing expansion. I've mentioned this on previous videos. So the game itself is built already with a combat mode, which works very well. You use the cards for the factions and the miniatures. You can place the miniatures on top of the cards if you'd like to have that visual presence of the dragons fighting the other creatures. But if you're a fan of the computer game, that's not Heroes of Might and Magic, right? It kind of sounds and feels like, looks like, but Heroes of Might and Magic is what you see here in terms of combat. This grid of hexagons, one side against another side, the miniatures, the armies or units moving forward and facing each other, etc. This is what the game is on the computer. That's a computer experience. So these guys, I guess, are trying to bring the same level of experience on the battlefield, but you cannot have every combat in the game using the battlefield. It's quite tedious, takes forever. Just even if you don't use this, using the normal board with the cards, it takes forever. That's why you should not play the game with more than 3 players, because it has a lot of AP. It ends up to be a ruinous experience. So what I understand from this is that they created a separate mode, which I never tried. You see the box says 2 players only. So this is something separate where you can battle 1 versus 1 game. The first one substitute the tiles on the adventure cards, the map tiles with adventure cards, while the other adds a few new rules. Okay, so it's yeah, I guess you compose your army and the opponent composes his army and you just clash like in the game. That's fine. It's like a separate thing. It's not supposed to use in the game, and you can really see the miniatures moving in the map, which is quite interesting. The cards for the units are here on the side, so you can count the life points there, but in the map they are the only ones facing. So that's the intro that I would like to give you for this expansion, to be able to put you in context on what the game is all about in terms of the Battlefield expansion. I don't like the box. I don't understand why the Battlefield expansion has the Crusaders and the Minotaurs here. I know all the boxes had the unit in the cover, the box, but it was always the strongest unit in the factions. So why do you have this? It doesn't represent me a battlefield. It's just 2 guys standing there, and then they're standing like side by side, like they're friends, or they're looking. Are they looking to their own armies battling on the battlefield? If it's so, doesn't look like it. I'm just using my imagination. So let's see what is inside. Okay, so the box is thinner than the rest of the expansions because this is basically one board, a few tiles, and some cards that are specific for this mode. And there are, okay, let's see. First of all, player aids. There are specific for, no, they are not. They are the same play rates. I can see that. You have the expand your town, recruit armies, purchase. You don't do this when battling, right? This is the normal. Remove all tokens from your unit, draw cards up to... No, that's a battlefield combat steps. Indeed, no. That's a play rate for the combat. No, yeah, so that's... No, adventure mode, yeah. Resolve or discard an adventure card, save an adventure card for... Replace a chosen adventure... Okay, now, this must be for this mode, and adventure cards should be something different. Let's see the rule book to start and see if we understand better. So we have the rule book, the play rates, the battlefield, the obstacles in the battlefield, so you'll need to go around, etc. Initiative, so like first player. There are the adventure cards here, positive morale and negative morale cards. The battlefield setup, you have the adventure mode and the skirmish mode. So I guess I described the skirmish mode when I was introducing the video, but I'm not aware of the adventure mode, to be honest. Okay, what is the adventure mode? So there's like some kind of campaign here, or is when you're playing in the adventure mode? No, follow the... Okay, so both play... Now it's still 1 versus 1. Both players choose one of the factions. Prepare artifacts, segregate, prepare attacks. Income, there's income. Okay. Place a battlefield between players, prepare the adventure deck as well as positive. So there's some kind of adventure here indeed. Let's see if we can find adventure mode. There it is. This is a competitive mode for 2 players in which you use adventure cards to upgrade your deck, gain resources, upgrade armies, and much more. You can also control up to 7 units. If you either have a draw card that gives you resources of movement or reduce cost, instead of putting into the deck, place it near to your hero. You can have single use. Okay. Map. Choose the map size and game length. So small will be what size? I don't know. The adventure ends at the 9th round, 13th round, or 16th round. There's a round structure. The adventure cards. Okay. After drawing card, you can use the that's the horse movement, right? Okay, I guess so. We draw the cards, and maybe we'll go visiting these locations. Combat during adventure. There's an adventure event card and an adventure combat card. Okay, so you draw and you face events on these cards. That's how it works. Victory condition. To achieve victory, one of the players must defeat all the units deployed by the other player during a battlefield combat. Okay, we'll get to see the cards better and understand. And then there's the combat, the battlefield combat. No, that's the... No, that's skirmish mode. That's the other mode. So that's when you fight on the battlefield. It's the battlefield combat. Deploy zone. There's a deploy zone. Yeah. And then the skirmish mode. Burst skirmish mode. You put heroes on level 7 or 5 or 3. Okay, short in terms of what? One of pre-made templates to jump. Okay, pre-made templates. Choose one of the scenarios, a large one. Okay. Larger, but what is large here? Because the map is always the same. Okay, different combat rules. And the index, and that's it. That's it. So adventure, you either adventure or you either do skirmish. Both sound very interesting. So I guess the map itself, there won't be anything interesting to see. It's just a green field. Very big. Very. Whew, wait a second. I'm having some logistical trouble with this. Just a green field, as you can see. There's one deployed zone on one side, deployed zone on the other side. And this is just terrain that you will populate with movement with these things that we see here. Let's take them out. Oh, it's just one or two. No, just one. Just one. Yeah, those are the obstacles that you'll use. Logs, lakes, skeletons. Just it. One The other games had so much tokens to punch out. This one is just one. Just one. And then you have here the battlefield cards, the adventure cards, and the combat cards. Let's see if we understand better what is implied on these battles. Go. Or not, maybe not. I see the sleep there, but the strip there, but she's not coming. Got it. Okay, yeah, so they look like this. These are the morale cards, other morale cards. Okay, and this would be like this deck here. Okay, deck 1 of 1. Windmill, you gain 1 crystal. So event, witch hut. These are the same terrains that we've seen many times throughout the game. Crypt, treasures, you get money and crystal. So this is giving you resources throughout the game. So there's no map to explore. You just draw cards and you find this stuff and oh, I gain stone, and that's it. Dragonotopia, there it is. Dragonotopia, different Dragonotopias here, but they apparently give the same thing, but the landscape is different. What are the rest? So we saw there were morale cards and negative morale. You can get negative morale somehow and positive morale. Reroll a die. No, they are different. Okay, they give different effects. +1 on a combat die. On a +1 you reroll, so only bad things. And then a positive morale, reroll. Your next attack +1. When combat on board starts, draw 1 card. Yeah, so positive things that will affect the combat. And one last thing, so that will be more events happening here. Trading post, you can trade resources. Trading post, yeah. Temples, search 2, positive morale deck, so turn 2. Okay, campfires, corpse, search 2, the artifact deck. So you're using the components from the base game and the expansions, right? The artifacts and the abilities, so you can use those decks in order to improve your hand for combat, right? Obelisk, search to the positive morale. Second obelisk, you increase the production, and third and fourth obelisk, there must be lots of obelisks. There you go, lots of obelisks there. Pandora box, spell scroll, the shrine of magic gesture. Search 2 on the magic deck. Yeah, so this is magic. Treasures, the tree of knowledge. 10 money to gain 2 abilities, or 3 crystals to gain 2 abilities. Sounds expensive. Warrior's Tomb, you get two artifacts, but you get 2 negative morale, because it was such a bad experience that you got the negative morale. So the deck continues here, windmill and windmill. That's it. This sounds exciting. This sounds exciting. Once you get to know all the cards or the morale or the factions, it's a different way of playing. You may want to have the combat, a slightly faster focused combat, but you don't want to set the tiles, set the campaign, set the base, etc., set everything else. You just want to fight with your favorite factions and minis. So battlefield mode is a nice addition indeed. And for now, this is the last content for this amazing game, Heroes of Might and Magic 3. I hope to be back to this content once I have the chance to get my hands on the Inferno expansion and more. I hope so, and I hope that you also have enjoyed this until the end of the video. So if so, again, don't forget to leave that like, to consider subscribing. I have lots of content for board games and card games in general, in my channel. So I truly believe you'll find interesting content to the point that you'll leave your like and subscribe. Thank you, and see you on the next video. Goodbye.